Yes, blessed love, give thanks for the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie I. I really pray that all is well with you. I'm very thankful for you coming in and supping with us today in the Tiger's Nest. I have a wonderful program today. In a few moments, we will be joined by the Honorable Priest Ritman. He will be contacting us from the Bahamas. This is an ancient priest, an ambassador, the ambassador to the Bahamas of the EABIC, which is the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress Church of Salvation. The Honorable Priest Ritman is an individual who, according to his own words, has been given missions from the Father. He has been given many words from the Father, so he has a lot to say as it relates to the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, the Black Christ in flesh. So we're very thankful. As I said, in a few moments, we will be joined by the Honorable Priest Ritman, and we will be definitely going into the fullness of what he has to share as it relates to Rastafari and the order of the Bobo Shanti and the order of the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards. So as we await him coming in, he should be joining us any moment now. Let me just, what I wanted to do, let me just give you a little snippet, because a lot of ones, again, I must say, I do appreciate the fact that a lot of parents are interested in the whole aspect of the homeschooling, African history and astronomy. So what I'm saying now, I'm going to give you just a small bit of one of our classroom sessions to give you at least an idea of what your children will be receiving when you sign up for the International Homeschool Program. Okay, so this is one of our astronomy classes that we did. Let me just find it here. And what you're going to see is exactly what we portray to the children. Just a little bit. All right. 50 confirmed moons on Saturn, and but it's the same field, the same astronomical field will tell you, but Saturn is expected to have, as the princess said, between 62 moons, because you got to keep in mind that we are still finding these moons, we are still discovering these moons, basically. Now, as I said, Saturn, we have some good information here on Saturn on our website here. I just want to show everyone how Saturn may look in 3D, or we already have it up here. This is a 3D outlook of Saturn. Let's just take a look at it. I hope you can see it. Let me make sure you can see it before I go too far. Okay, there it is. So this is a 3D rendition of Saturn.
You can play with it.
You'll actually see all the moons going around Saturn. See, that's one moon. Then you have another moon there. As you turn around, you see that pretty light reflecting in the rings of Saturn.
That's the sun.
That could be very much the sun from a distance, as the Honorable Prince says. You could see it from the top. You could see it from the bottom. This northern pole of Saturn is very unique. It has a hexagonal shape. That's natural, and this is a real 3D rendition of Saturn. I think this picture may have been taken by the space craft they call Cassini, which is one of the more famous spacecraft that visited Saturn. Okay, yes, now let us take a look at Saturn. Of course, we always have to dissect the planet to see exactly what is inside. Now, Saturn is one of those gas giants, isn't it? Yes, it's like Jupiter, it's like Neptune, and Uranus. So it's a gas giant. So you can't go and walk in Saturn and build a sandcastle and all of that kind of stuff. It doesn't work up there. It's
made out of gas.
It's made out of gas. Very light.
Hydrogen and helium.
So it's made out of hydrogen and helium, similar to the sun and even Jupiter. Pardon me?
Metallic hydrogen and nuclear hydrogen.
Okay, so you can see here, molecular hydrogen. This is the outer part of Saturn. And as we go in, as the prince says, we have molecular hydrogen, and then you have solid rock and metal, you know, and this is roughly the size of Earth. So the core of Saturn now, core means basically the center. The core of Saturn is roughly means that is rough. No, that's not what it means. Roughly really means approximately. These words ain't too big for you. Come on, don't let nobody fool you about big words. This ain't just ABC and CATs, cat and DOGs, dog. No, SATURN is Saturn. You hear me? You know when you go to preschool and kindergarten, all they want you to spell is BALL ball. You know what I mean?
And DOG.
Dog. Listen, young ones, I'm telling you, your Uncle Priest Isaac is telling you, don't let nobody fool you. I don't care if you're 2 years old, 3 years old. Well, to be honest, I do care. Maybe I should not say that so hard. I care. I care. It's just how we speak. So if you're 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, you don't worry. You read anything. Read all the books you have in your house. Don't mind. Learn the biggest words. That will prove that you are well read and well studied and you become more intelligent. So when you hear the phrase, Earth is roughly the size of the core of Saturn, that means Earth is approximately. Okay, let me just interrupt the professor there. So that's really, and as I said, these are, that's a kindergarten class, eh? And you could see the professor is really harping to the young minds to show them don't get bogged down or boxed down, pardon me, in, you know, CAT's cat and RAT's rat. But anyway, basically that's just a clip of what we offer on our international homeschool program. This is something that, as I said, will definitely benefit your children and definitely benefit yourself, to be very honest, if you desire to be a part of it. And the international homeschool program, as I said, we offer not just astronomy. You were just getting a bit of astronomy there as we were highlighting the planet Saturn, but also we go into the realms of African heritage and history. And that as well is very intense. And the children get a lot, they gain a lot. And I'm telling you, they will definitely, you know, you will see the results once you partake of this program. So all you have to do is to email us, priestisaac27@gmail.com, priestisaac27@gmail.com. We'll give you more information on how you could become a part of the international homeschool program. Remember, the classes come to you every day. So every morning you wake up, the class should be there with the class of the day. Every Monday and Wednesdays is astronomy. Every Tuesday and Thursday is African history plus heritage. The class is not drawn out. It's between 20 and 30 minutes long. So it's enough for, you know, to hold the attention of the child, and they will benefit from the information that they gather. And of course, as I said, it's a 10-month program. Eh? We have K, first grade and second grade. It's a 10-month program. So it's a very intense and well compact program. It's not a joke. And it will definitely increase their intelligence as far as the subject area, African history plus heritage, and of course, astronomy, as you basically see. So again, while we are waiting for the honorable priest to come in, let me also highlight here for you, as you could see right here, we are our brand new ebook. This is our latest, as they say, our earliest ebook. The Heavens Declare the Glory, Rastafari and the Cosmos. And let me just repeat to you once again that you can still get these books on the Amazon. Oh yeah, if you don't want to, you know, contact me via the email, you can contact Amazon and get The Heavens Declare the Glory, Rastafari and the Cosmos, Honorable Priest Isaac. Once you type that in, you know you're going to get the book. You could get it for your Kindle. Also, The True Biblical Land of Israel is also available on the Amazon. Yes, on Amazon you can get The True Biblical Land of Israel, and of course the book Anu, Ancient and Modern. But of course you could get them directly from the author himself by emailing us, priestisaac27@gmail.com. So basically the choice is up to you. And remember, at this moment, all payments can be made via the PayPal. Yes, the PayPal, all payments can be made via the PayPal using this very same address, priestisaac27@gmail.com. And for those who would prefer to make their payments on whatever using Cash App, you could also make the payment using Cash App. But please listen to my instructions. Good. To make the payments using Cash App, you still would have to email us and request the information for the Cash App. And then that will be as easy can be done. All right, as I said, in a moment, we'll be joined by the Honorable Priest Ritman. All right, blessed love, once again, give thanks. We are here in the Tiger's Nest, and as promised, we have the royal priest with us, the ambassador to the Bahamas of the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress Church of True Divine Salvation. We have the Honorable Priest Ritman, who is with us, joining us here in the Tiger's Nest, and we are honored to, to be able to host such a esteemed, my Lord, esteemed King, esteemed brethren, a brethren that I have had the pleasure of meeting specifically right there in the Bahamas as well. And you know, my Lord, as more of a youth in the Congress in comparison to you, it's a name that you would hear of from all, even as a youth coming into this order, you'd always hear people speak of the great priest Ritman. So it was always a pleasure and a joy when I finally even met the eye in flesh, So as an ambassador, and as an individual that has sat and supped with the Black Christ, King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, we have invited my Lord to come and sit with us to, continue the whole lessons and the teachings for those of us who would need to know and have a better understanding of the man himself, King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, the ambassador of Haile Selassie I. So, Priest Ritman, blessed love, my Lord, Honorable.
My Lord, blessed Honorable.
And give thanks for gracing us with your presence. And give thanks for coming in. I hope everything is well with the eye.
So far, so good, Majesty. Give thanks for life, health, and strength above all things.
True, my Lord. Blessed Lord.
My Lord.
Well, Honorable, as I said, it is just a joy that you could come and sit with us. And as a soldier within this order of Rastafari and Bobo Shanti in general, I know that you would have a wealth of information that you could share with our audience. Remember, we have a wide audience, I could tell you, of different outlooks, different ideologies, and different backgrounds, races, whatever you want to say. Believe me, they're there. So, we do our best to feed them on the order of the Black Christ. But of course, there are those that would have sat with the man and have gone through the order with the man directly, and I represent one of these. So I would like to begin, my Lord, first of all, asking you how you came into this Congress, first of all, how you came into the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress, even before we get to the man himself. Well, maybe that's how you came in. I don't even know. But how did you actually come into this order to hold it to this point in your days, man? Blessed Lord.
Yes, my Lord, give thanks, and give thanks to each and everyone who listened and tuned into us at this moment. How the priest saying, my name is the Honorable Priest Ritman McKinney, Royal Ambassador for Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress. Also, our father anointed me to operate a branch in the Bahamas, but I am the international ambassador for the Congress, not the ambassador for the Bahamas. Going back, as you asked me, how I came into this order. Well, Majesty, I born in the Bahamas, or island called Andros. And growing up in my early teens, I watched a lot of pastors and a lot of missionaries came into Andros and bring the order of Christianity, revival. And enough time I went to revival with my family, and back on island, everyone seeking to know God, to find God and know the truth. Reading the Bible, and I'm going through the Bible from an early age. The ancestors pricked my spirit, because in my time there was no Rasta really doing the teaching in South Island, is where I came from at that time. So I asked my mother, I said, well, Mom, I haven't seen anybody in the Bible our color. I don't see no one look like us. At that time, she couldn't give me an answer, a straight answer. I see everything in the big book, everything white, the big white God come out of heaven and Jesus with all the angels on the side, everything white, and all who waiting to receive him is little white people also. So I didn't see our image, and it's at that age, it pricked my spirit dark. So and I see she couldn't give me no answer. So within me, the ancestors telling me it have to be somebody on earth who represent the truth. Because at that time, I didn't see the ones who was representing Christ and teaching us of the way of Christ. To me, wasn't adding up. So as time going, one of my family started putting this locks on, and my father used to tell me, says, I don't want you to be the moped fellas, you know, see them little moped fellas, I don't want you to be none of those fellas. Because he didn't understand the order. And as time going, Honorable Prophet William Smith, he also from South Islanders, as a next person I would like for you to interview also in time to come. I'll try my best to see if I can make it happen for you. He bring a virgin and Andros. It's a story, you know. I'm gonna give you how I get to it. And he started telling us about the Black Christ and this man in Jamaica, who's the Black Christ? I say, well, who man in Jamaica would be the Black Christ? And I asked him if he ever been in Jamaica. He said, no, he never been in Jamaica, but he had some tapes. So I listened to the Naya Bengi. And at that time I couldn't understand it. It was like almost hitting my head. But they keep on tricking my mind that it's Black Christ. And I had a vision about the same said Black Christ without seeing a picture of him. And that made me stop going to the Bible church, stop going to revival. I say, I think it's a truth somewhere. And the spirit just stopped me from going to the church. I was about 16 at that age. I try to convince my siblings also don't go to the church, because I feel as though it ain't right to see people get in the spirit. When the white man come, everybody pile up and bus and go to that whatever site, and they preach us, and a lot of people get the spirit, and after they leave, everything come back normal. And the only time when everybody get up is when the white man reach. It's like he is the one who teaches of this God, you know. So at an early age, it was just stay with me. So I started freeing myself from going to the church and being a part of trying to become a Christian or want to be saved. Because at that time, I really wanted to be saved, because that was the norm on islands. I see a lot of ones my age also getting saved and jump up in the church, and I thought it was something they feeling was authentic, and somehow I ain't getting the feeling. I said, how come I ain't feeling this Christianity? I'm square where everybody's getting. And as time going, I realized that was, to me, that was a fake. That was a fault. So going, trying to learn the order. Not knowing it yet, but it's here but Selassie and here but Emmanuel and just one friends, you start putting some things together, you start reading. The story, crisis is a long story, I'm telling you. But also, I keep on trying to find information about the truth, because then I have my bigger brother. He started telling me, hey, don't get yourself into that, because that don't make no sense, because he can see what I see, he can feel what I feel. And he didn't know what's going on inside of me. Like I left Ireland and went to Nassau after my father died. And that's what I become more familiar with a lot of Rastaman and then start to visit Rastaman and start to question on this truth. And at one point, the same gentleman, the Honorable William Smith, not the gentleman, the prophet, really, he went to Jamaica. That was in 86. He was 86. I went to Jamaica also, but I didn't went on the hill. I don't want to go on the hill, but who I went to see, they didn't want to take me to the hill because they're saying this man on hill giving people one banana to eat and saying he's God. So who I was wrong, they reluctant to take me on the hill. So I never get the reach on the hill. So I went come back to the mountains. I went to Jamaica again, and the same thing happened. So the third time I went to Jamaica, I never went to them. I went straight on the hill myself. So I really didn't want to find this truth. Arriving on the hill, I reached on the hill November 2nd, 1988 celebration. And when I reached there, right after Gilbert, I think I was the one when the first Bobo reached on the hill after Gilbert.
Yes,
me and,
Gilbert, man, of course.
Yeah, me and Honorable priest, Muslim priest, Prophet Thunder, they call him Thunder from foreign. We went on hill together. When I reached in the courtyard, I realized that this is my home. This is what I was seeking for. This is everything was complete in my heavens. I said that this is where I belong. I asked the priest to the guardhouse after the block of prayer. I said, I come to see the leader, Prince Emmanuel. And they told me at that time that they went and checked jar and sent in my request. And just sent on a word to me, so I must just cool off and relax for the night. He'll see me first thing in the morning. But at the same time, we had the night being going all night, so it was a glorious event for me, some highlight to me. Everybody in the red, gold, and green, everybody in their gold robe. So it was a bright, glorious kingdom. But I entered, so I know that this is what I was looking for. This was that ancestors was guiding me to reach. So I was full energy. I didn't sleep at all that night. I listened to the night of Dengue, and I was totally prepared myself the next morning to see Prince Emmanuel. He sent for me and the next virgin. He talked to us and blessed us, and I bless him also. I share him about my history and how I reached the foundation and my journey. And he welcomed me and gave me a place to stay. Because at that time, I was in the guardhouse, and I think one of my hosts was Giles living in maybe 1 or 2 Empress Gates, because the place was fresh from after Gilbert. The place was still totally mashed down to level. So, but he told the Virgin, make sure I get a place to rest in the guardhouse. I was there for about 3 weeks at that time. I went to Psalms reading, roll call, and to build myself and all also. But at that time, I didn't see myself eager to be a priest. I said, I just want to know, because when I went to Jamaica, I went to make Jamaica just to really know the truth, so I could defend it for myself, to say, well, because other places impressing me about this present and this Rastafari order. And so I want to be able to at least explain it to the best of my ability. So I know I didn't need to know more.
Yes,
So that's why I went to Jamaica. I came back to Bahamas, and the following 6 months, I went back to Jamaica. I went back on hill, and I then had a small family. My father passed. I was the breadwinner to my mom and my other siblings, and at that time I had already had two youths, so I had direct responsibility also even before I became Bobo, because I was the, I'll say the breadwinner of my family. So I couldn't stay on the hill like ones who went there for six years or whatever. Because enough Bahamas at that time went there. They said they were saying coming back to Bahamas, enough get rid of their passports, and they say from there ship coming in Jamaica, and from there we heading straight to Africa, because that was the culture at that time. You know, so all the ships coming in Jamaica, and the riverbed can overflow with water, and they can bust it. Ships can come in there and you can repatriate from Jamaica. That was the culture we were spreading at that time. So me personally couldn't stay on the hill to build myself to the priesthood that I would want to. But I say again, my initial going to the foundation was not to really become a priest, but to be a prophet, know the truth, and be able to help in any way I can help strengthen the kingdom, because I all for this order. I see it makes sense concerning my salvation, concerning my liberation, and it make me feel like I'm a part of something what is authentic, what is real. I see Christianity, what I grew up in European philosophy of Christianity, or European century Christianity, wasn't working for me. So that's what made me get more stronger and start agitating when I get back on this. I started telling my folks about the Black Church. I bring out a lot of pamphlets. I started sharing the knowledge to my best of my ability. And the 20th time I went on hill, I was there, and the father asked me about the Prime Minister. If you could get a letter to the Prime Minister. At that time, I told him yes, I could direct get a letter to the Prime Minister. That's Lyndon Pilner. Fortunately, my father had a good relation with the Prime Minister. When I was growing up, my father, before he died, was one of the Prime Minister's political generals. So I feel I had a chance to see him. So I put a letter together for me to give to Lyndon. When I came to Bahamas, I gave the letter to Lyndon, and I told him he had to give me a letter to return back to King Emmanuel. He did that in 2 weeks, and in 2 weeks I was back on the hill with the return letter to Prince Emmanuel from the Prime Minister. At that time, I think that was the first time any letter or any information get direct to the Prime Minister, and the Prime Minister answer, and Emmanuel get the answer in 2 weeks. So that was to me it was just a normal thing to me, but it was a milestone for the foundation, because it never take place before. No Bobo before ever get a letter to the Prime Minister, and the Prime Minister answer Prince Emmanuel forward. That was the first time. So now I believe that's one of the reasons also King Emmanuel made me his Royal International Ambassador. When I think back the letter to the foundation, he didn't make me an ambassador at that time. I went back. He came back to the Bahamas, and about 3 to 4 weeks, he sent me a telegram and said he has made me a Royal International Ambassador. I'm coming to Jamaica, and so I got to receive my certificate, and he'll show me what's the role he want me to play in that field. And when I went back to Jamaica, I get my certificate from Prince Emmanuel as International Ambassador. But during that time, I sent the first one-man delegation to Ethiopia. He asked me if I want to go on the second delegation, which went to Ghana. I told him at that time I said I wasn't ready. That was the first 8-man delegation went to Ghana. And the third delegation of brethren went into Nigeria. That's Priest Gifford and Priest, can't remember the priest's name offhand. There's three individuals went to Nigeria. Priest Tani, Priest Gifford, and I think Priest Barnett. They went into Nigeria. And one a young brother from Homeschool accompanied them. His name was Cyrus. He was taught, is his official name. So that was the 12th delegation. I sent 4 delegations into Ghana, and that's the delegation I told you I want to go on. But the delegation leaves me. It's time I get to reach back to Jamaica. Priest Harry and Priest, this history now. You're asking me to explain. So Priest Harry and Priest, the other one, the elder priest. I'm trying to remember his name. Priest
Richie.
No.
Oh, not Priest Richie.
Honorja, elder priest. Priest Jackai, pardon I, Priest Jackai, famous Priest Jackai. Jackai and Priest Harry went before I reached in Jamaica. So I reached Jamaica about 3 days after they left. So I came from Hamas with myself and Priest Gerard Mortimer. And when I reached on Hill, Jassy, well, those 2 brethren couldn't really wait on me. So they were like 2 days ahead. So me, Priest Gerard, and Priest IOP, and Priest Talty went into Ethiopia. And when Jah sent me to Ethiopia with the delegation, before we left the foundation, Emmanuel tell Priest Talty and Priest Gerard and Priest IOP and myself that when I reached Ethiopia, at that time, Priest Harry was the vice president of the foundation. Was before then, Priest Campbell was the vice president. Something where Priest Campbell was more from the vice president. So Jah told me, so when I reached, and told us that when I reached Ethiopia.
Wait, let me ask you. Sorry to cut you. I didn't. I don't want to come in. So you say you
need to cut last, as you cut out, I remember more things.
Yeah, so the last vice president officially was Priest Harry, not Priest Campbell.
No, the last official vice president was Priest Harry.
Oh, okay.
Not Priest Campbell.
I just hear otherwise. But go ahead, though. Continue.
Okay. I trying to be corrected by getting you facts.
I hear you.
So when we reached Ethiopia, told Priest Harry what the father said, and asked him to go to Ethiopia as his Royal International Ambassador, and I'm going to speak for him. So when I speak, as I represent him as the Black Christ. So, of course, I explained to Priest Harvey. We went to I told him, I said, Jah said that when I reach, you must return back to Jamaica. But of course, he didn't. But we still worked together for that couple of weeks we were there. We went to see the Jamaican ambassador to Ethiopia.
Priest Harry should return back to Jamaica.
Yes, see Emmanuel way direct. He should return and leave me as ambassador to not to take over, but be the full representative of the Congress along with the others who were with. Just sent me. At that time, I was the most youngest Bobo amongst the elders, and all of them was priests at that time. And when Jah set my ID, he set my ID as a prophet priest royal ambassador. That's on my certificate. Honorable prophet priest Ritman royal ambassador. So at that time, I didn't really build myself to that level of leading priest. But well, the authority Jah give I priest prophet ambassador certificate. I still have the certificate now. I will display it. I think it's a part of my profile also right there. So when we reach, of course, I think Pusai was reluctant to let me play the role what Emmanuel assigned for me to. But we still work together collectively. We went and see the the Interior Minister from who was representing the United States. We went and also see the chairman of the OAU, which was Salam at that time. We put on our name in OAU. We explained to the OAU what is our mission, and always welcome, and always, to me, everything was just pleasant. I didn't see no rebuttal from none of those entities we went to. I'd say from the Interior Minister, Minister of Culture, the department from the United States, because at that time, that was 92. Mengusta, the desk get Ocho. So Ethiopia was almost under, let's say, unrest, because it was very, basically scary. But go back, when we reached Ethiopia, Jah tell us, care about Reverence Richard Airport and sing Beautiful Land. We care about Reverence at the airport, we sing Beautiful Land. And it take the people so much that the airport authority gave us a bus that day to take us anywhere we want to go until we get settled. And that was the first time, my Lord, in 17 years, anybody had the power to wear any kind of portrait of His Majesty, because at that time all the portrait was totally banned in Ethiopia. So we were the ones who break that barrier at that time. And it takes something like 7 big photo of Prince Emmanuel, Marcus Garvey, and Selassie with me from the Bahamas. And those photos was about I'll say 25 by I can't remember the size of the photos, but I thought it was a big, I think it was 24 by 26 photos. And the hotel we went, Chris Gerard, who was with us, we didn't decide this. He just did it on his own. He just take the photos and put it to the window. He was the second floor in the hotel. And he put the photos up against the windows so persons from outside could see the photos of Prince Emmanuel, Selassie, and Marcus Garvey. And I'm telling you, Honorable, in the space of 20 to half hour, I believe over 5,000 people gathered outside the cafe. The authorities came in there and tell us that we have to take those down. We take it down. They never arrest us. They never harass us. They just tell us we have to take it down. We take it down. But I'm showing you, that was the first time people really see a display of His Majesty photo in 17 years publicly. And it was done by us who came with the West. And Jah tell them that prepare the place because the king is coming back to reign on his throne. So that's the message we was giving the people. With our robe on, we wear robe every day. And what we had, and a brethren, honorable priest, Blyden, he did make some big medallion with the red, with King Alpha and Queen Omega on it, Selassie and Empress Menen. And I had a big medallion, a big one. And as I moved through Ethiopia at that time, persons was bowing to me, holding my hand and kissing my hand and bowing to me to have one of the big medallion of King Alpha and Queen Omega. So people was overwhelmed to see that things coming back to normal again. So that was a great experience for myself as a young man at that time. When I went to Ethiopia at that time, I was 25 years old. Now I'm over 50. So that was a good experience for me.
Yeah, man, that's blessed, man. The energy is perfect there too. You know, even how the phone coming and everything. You know, as a person that deal with the energy, perfect. That's all I'm saying. Perfect, man. So I mean, in your vibration there, what you brought forward to me, my Lord, is a lot of information there, even in that one step. They're showing King Alpha and Queen Omega there for a moment, you know. So one could see the royalty of the majesty, you know, the majesty on high. Yes, my Lord. You know, for a lot of the listeners, you know, a lot of ones, again, we are with the Honorable Priest Ritman of the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress Church of True Divine Salvation. And, you know, a lot of ones who may not be, you see, the interesting thing about this Congress is when you're in it, you know, it really gives life to that phrase, who feels it knows it there. You know, you got to be in it to really know it in a sense. And a lot of what the history of the brother is bringing forward to us, you know, when you're in it, I know those who are in it would be really taking this as jewels coming forward, even relishing in the information that is coming forward as well. So my Lord, you said that you are the international ambassador. To some degree, you would have already explained that, you know, but just give me a little more clarity on that. So you're saying now, this is a title that has passed on, or this is a unique title that you received? Because what I'm saying, prophet, priest, ambassador, I've never heard it in that arraignment as well. I never ever heard it. So prophet, priest, ambassador, that's a very interesting title. So to say that you are King Emmanuel's international ambassador, I get what you're saying. When you made that, when the delegation went to Ethiopia, you were given that mandate, Ethiopia, yeah, you were given that mandate to be the voice of God, and you are his representatives. And as you said, because you made it clear, you set the scene, you were basically the little David amongst his bigger brothers. And they were kind of pushing you off of the battlefield. You know, I see you don't have no ill feelings about that. I could see that clearly, but you just kind of dropped it in to show, well, listen, just so you could understand what's going on. So maybe I didn't get to express myself to the best of my ability. But whatever the case is, so as an international, is it the international ambassador or an international ambassador? I think that's really what I'm getting at.
Well, Majesty, as I stated before, international ambassador, that's what I see myself and from the way of from Prince Emmanuel, my trip into Ethiopia, representing the Congress, not representing the Bahamas branch, representing the Congress. And my ID have on Priest Ritman, Royal Ambassador for the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress, not no Bahamas branch. The Bahamas branch was something else, y'all, gave I to operate in the Bahamas. But when I went on the hill, I don't be on the hill as ambassador for Bahamas. I be on the hill. When I reach the hill, I reach the hill as an international ambassador. And all the elders know that for far. Not that I'm the ambassador to Bahamas. Of late, I see that's what people try to wreck it to, that I'm an ambassador to Bahamas. That's enough time I have to explain it. And my ID have an international ambassador. They don't have no Bahamas ambassador. So, and I was on my first mission concerning ambassador till was in Ethiopia, an international move. And on that move, just say, I must let's say run the program, but represent him as the royal ambassador. And we had Priest Milks was there as chairman. We had Priest Jakai as the treasurer, and Priest Harry was at that time was the vice president. So, and all of them was renowned figures around Jah, but Jah said, he want me represent as the royal ambassador. So, and he want the vice president to leave Ethiopia and come back to the West. And
I hear you.
so that proves that what I'm saying.
Yeah. And yes, I gather that good. And interestingly, even the very vice president, you know, is an individual that I was hoping that in the near future I could contact. I would say recontact because if my memory is correct, I think he somewhat contacted me not too long ago, whether it's in a comment or something. That's Priest Harry I'm talking about.
Yes, brother.
Yeah,
Well,
and there's few things I would like to hear from his mouth
because,
too.
yes, of course, because my Lord,
Don't get me wrong, not in opposition at all to anything you're saying, eh?
No,
I mean, even before this discussion here, you know, because you know,
everything I'm saying, I guarantee I can see again in full audience of people that I'm in front of this place also, so it's not something I'm trying to make. I'm from the Bahamas, and I say again at that time I was very young, and man, I was living in Jaffa, 10 years, 12 years, 7 years, 8 years, 3 years. So I was almost like a newcomer. So I was surprised myself when Jack crowned me all the national ambassador, and say take over the mission. That's something I wasn't expecting. It overwhelmed me also, but at the same time I try my best to execute to my best ability amongst the Virgin there. At that time I was the person who pushing the economic at that time for the tickets and even the movement in Ethiopia at that time still. But Chris Harry, and of course, that loves more experience than me when it comes to the order, when it comes to the syllabus, when it comes to the order. But just so just me as a more statistical individual, execute statistical affairs. And that's what I try to do with my best ability. We came back to Jamaica. Before I came back to Jamaica, Chris Harry came to Jamaica before me. If you want me to give you the story, I can give you so much history. I could leave this and go to something else, but it's plain history. You may need a couple hours with me to get all this history.
Let's see what we can do.
Okay. I know we can't get 5 hours today, I'm just saying. When we came back to Jamaica, because I tell us also, it's very important.
So, before you did that, so Priest Harry did come back to Jamaica though?
He did come back to Jamaica 2 weeks ahead of me. Because the time when he came to Jamaica, he never came to Jamaica. He before I reached Jamaica, that's when he came to Jamaica and gave his report. And me and Priest Gerard came afterwards 2 weeks later. And I gave him my report. But what I going to say first, on my trip to Ethiopia, Jah specifically said, we must not go into Sassamani. So when I see what's taking place in Sassamani now today, it makes me say, wow, Emmanuel know why he tell us he don't want us to build no foundation in Sassamani. So the man who went Sassamani, that happened that to the fact that the poorly execute the mission. And somehow
who went Sassamani? That's Priest Paul and
Priest Paul went Sassamani.
Isaiah.
To my knowledge, when Priest Paul reached Ethiopia, Alan already came back to the west. We was living in Addis Ababa at that time. I did rent a nice house for a couple of months. Like I say again, Jah tell us don't establish his kingdom or his headquarters in Sassamani. He didn't want nothing to do with Sassamani. Though the word is that the Emperor said Sassamani belongs to them. Persons coming from the west, Rastafari, and us as black people come from the west. Emmanuel himself said we must not go Sassamani. So when I see taking place in Sassamani, I say, Jah see what's going to take place 10 years ahead, 20 years ahead. Because I see what's taking place in Sassamani now with the Rastafari getting the loot, getting burned out, getting victimized in the most horrible way right now as we speak. You know that, right?
Yes, my lord. I'm following.
I said, if you know that's what's taking place now.
Yeah, I'm following. Once I'm following, I'm keeping up with the information. Then, yes, I'm being fed the information.
I said to say that Emmanuel had to know. He have to see the future. And he said, well, he don't want us establishing Sassamani. He said we must establish either in Addis Ababa or we're on the outstate Addis Ababa. We start looking for land to buy, to purchase, so they can establish the foundation. When I get back to Jamaica, my report to father is that but Jah was keep on calling for a 13-man delegation into Ethiopia. Jah really want to establish the Ethiopian embassy. My Lord.
I'm listening to you.
And also,
I have you, man.
We start looking for land outside of Addis Ababa. We find some good land. We find some places. So my report back to Jah, I show Jah all our experience, and I tell Jah that we definitely need to build some revenue. We need at least about $50,000 US to purchase a good piece of land and be able to establish the foundation in Addis Ababa. But unfortunately, as I came back, I was helping along with other ones in the United States, like Priest Michael, who also joined, another Bridget, who was strengthening the foundation on Africa mission. But unfortunately, before
that's your Priest Michael there, Bahamas.
No, Priest Michael, he passed already. He used to be in the United States. Well, he's a priest. He was on the 8-man delegation into Ghana.
Okay, all right.
Yes, but he's a join now. He's very instrumental in the Faisal Africa mission also, and also strengthening the foundation.
Sorry to cut you.
Pardon me?
No, I said sorry that I interrupted you. I just wanted a clarity. Go through. Yeah, so he said you Priest Michael and went back to the foundation.
So I was telling the father concerning what kind of strength we need to establish the Ethiopian embassy, and plus the Jamaican ambassador who was there in Ethiopia defending the Virgin who was in Sassamani. He told us that the Ethiopian government was about to shut down the embassy, and the Jamaican government then really have him said that he came back to Jamaica. So the Virgin from down in Sassamani won't have no representative to help them in any situation because the embassy will be closed. But Emmanuel, I say again, Emmanuel tell us don't go down in Sassamani, set some land in Addis Ababa. But now when we went back to Jamaica and experienced the job myself with Priest Harry, I gave his report to Jah before I reached. I gave my report as ambassador. I told Jah we need more strength. So as I reached back, I started getting strength to send back on the foundation so we could build the strength we need. But when I hear again, Priest Harry and 2 man went Africa. And I said, how this man go Africa and the plan ain't being executed. They have enough money, but they tell Jah they have to go. The Ethiopian government want to see them, but I don't know what take place with them. Actually, the Ethiopian government sent them back and deport them out of Ethiopia. They came back to Jamaica and tell Jah that this time we take Priest Richie with them, and that's the second time. So the third time we take Priest Richie with them again, but they're already being convicted of Ethiopia. Whatever they did, they never declare. But they come back and tell Jah that the Ethiopian government want them come back forward. So Priest Richie, this history, I have to let history clear the way it is. He do a forging passport, to forge himself to go back to Ethiopia. Him and Priest Harry. That's how when they get back there, the Ethiopian government basically arrest them, basically. And that's how they get in and get shipped down to Kenya. I mean, the border Kenya and the refugee camp in Kenya. And that helps snag the Africa Commission from, I'd say from then to now. Other ones went up there afterwards. Priest Notes and ended up back in Ghana. Priest Chakai ended up back in Ghana. Priest IOP ended up in Sassamani with Priest Paul. At that time, Priest Paul ended up in Ethiopia himself. So the house we went, was up. Because the money what we supposed to keep the relevant that we established ourselves was spending on man making these fast trips and doing their own thing and being deceitful to the general. Let me say it straight, being deceitful to the general. So when Jah found out that Priest Harry them get deported out of Ethiopia and in Kenya, Jah removed him from Jah removed the title as vice president from Priest Harry. So when Jah make a move, there was no vice president. Because Jah removed the vice president from Priest Harry. And persons on the hill at that time could verify Emmanuel telling me at that time, I must take over the African mission. Before Jah make a move, we had about 7-man ticket that established on hill for stouts. We kindled the mission again. Priest Radcliffe, Priest Rocco went into Ethiopia to see if he could assist Priest Harry them. He ended up with malaria and he ended up passing on, surgery, passing, he ended up in a refugee camp. So that stalled the Africa mission for a while, and it bring a stop to it. And Priest, because also because the Ethiopian people didn't welcome us, because even Priest Talty and Priest Harry them end up in a university over there where they was getting free classes until was the conflict between Priest Talty and one of the professor and Priest Talty burnt some fire on them, and that caused them get their schooling was stopped. Their time in class, they decided to give them a rest. So what take place in Addis Ababa concerning Priest Harry and Priest Richard, they never really explained to us exactly what take place. But from then to now, that stagnated the whole Africa mission. And from then, even before Jah make a move, we started to bring the build strength again. But again, I'm from Bahamas, so I'm one of those elders, and and what I'll say is that it's the international government. And
you're not from Jamaica.
So it ain't supposed to be national. And from my experience, I experienced a lot of national forces what hindered the program, because anybody know Rasta better than Jamaicans. So, and that have bring a problem. I hate to say it like that, but that. So even after Jah make we still didn't come together as we should to continue the Africa mission. We didn't organize ourselves as we should. I ain't giving no one the fault. I'm one of the faults also, but it's a collective effort, and we're still today looking for that collective effort. So after Jah make a move, Jah set up parliament, Jah
committee and everything. And
yes.
and you know, I must say, and I you know, I'm glad you bring me there, because that's where I want to kind of dovetail into now. Let me say first too, myself, I'm one of those that this is the first time I'm getting the international ambassador thing. Eh? So as you said, once kind of shoved that aside and somehow replace it with the Bahamas thing. Well, that's how I always got it. But so give thanks for the clarity. With the history that you just brought forward, now I could go more into it because, well, I must say that wasn't the plan today, but I could see why you brand yourself as the statical soldier as such, you know, because it's obviously statical matters you are penetrated, you know, to the point that this discussion is obviously high on your agenda and mentality, because it was and is of utmost importance. You're talking about the African mission. You clearly said, I don't know how much of the audience got it, but even as far as paying for the tickets, you know, you played a very critical role in that for man and man to actually travel. So obviously it is something that is close to your heart. But like for this generation of Bobo Shanti, even those after me coming in, those that came in with I, that's one generation, and I think at least couple generations after that has already come in. So, because why I say I could go further, you know, there's actually a recording that I have with the Honorable Priest Harry, where he was speaking of a situation with the flag of Ethiopia and himself and the Honorable Priest Richie, and so in some level of captivity, and them bringing down the flag and rising our flag and stamping the flag on the feet and different things. And because I've already heard it from his mouth, not face to face like how we're doing it here, I was tempted to somewhat ask you if you know of that situation, because even as I said, you know, as a younger one, I'll come there. Even as a younger one myself, you know, you would hear different versions of these stories. Even you mentioned the Honorable Priest Talty. I heard something similar to that concerning my Lord. I guess that's maybe what you were just, speaking of. But my main thing, you know, you could touch it, right? But my main thing, and you could answer both in one. My main thing is now, where do we go from here? Because we obviously have to find a way to revive this. You know, I know that you are currently with the international parliament, you know, the whole restructuring of such, and if you can say a word about that, I wouldn't mind. But where do we go from that? That's where you were going a moment ago, parliament and committee and cabinet. So how is it that we, this generation that never lived that come and learn about that, even the generation that just coming in the door right now, even watching us, they have some young ones watching us, they don't know about no Priest Harry and Priest Richie and all that, you know, but they would like to see the mission of King Emmanuel go through.
Sure.
Where do we go from there? And you can address it too, you know, before you get into that. Feel free.
Majesty,
my Lord,
glorified. Where we go from here?
Yeah.
Well, person still looking for the parliament to be established. We have a just set of constitution, and the constitution state a president in flesh. This order is a God in flesh order, saying, you know, spirit or flesh. So within the constitution, to my understanding, to be wrong, to be stand to be corrected also. To my understanding that the elders amongst themselves supposed to be mature enough to find out amongst ourselves who is the most relevant person to hold the office of the president. From then to now, it hasn't been established. Once you won't do and go down that road. I was the one who keep on saying we have to continue the establishment of a parliament, and you have to pick a president, or a president need to pick parliament. I know King Emmanuel appointed a lot of persons into parliament before he make a move, but it wasn't fully established. I'm still getting the struggle to this day.
Let me ask you quickly. We seeking for president or vice president? Because I know there's a school of thought that King Emmanuel is the president, you know, and the fact that
Emmanuel being the founding leader, president, going and king, that cannot ever change.
And you know that's what we culture.
So
is it a vice president? But we know he's really the president.
We know that under the Constitution, the Constitution can't be adhered to if we have a living president in flesh. That's what made the Constitution be authentic.
I hear you. Boy, you're gonna get.
So we as Bobo Shanti have to be mature enough to accept these things and accept changes, and that's our problem. we don't accept changes, and what the Constitution state, that's what it is. A president cabinet. So if we don't pick a president, I'm not saying you will pick a vice president, you still need parliament to come together and declare. And I believe that ones who was in order over 25 years, just have that opportunity to say, well, it's a secret ballot, but somehow we have to chart this course to have leadership. Right now, seeing that was taking place, just to say now he's president, because he's Emmanuel son of Emmanuel Lyons. But I'm saying the Constitution now state that. If you check the Constitution of Ethiopia for saying His Majesty, it's enshrined in the Constitution that the throne reserved for the same said dynasty as a king on his throne in Ethiopia. In Jamaica, it's something different. So it's something what we have to establish also, because the throne of Selassie was over 3,000 years old. So the program and everything done really set for the next two reign.
So you acknowledge there, I think it's still sometimes I just like the highlighting. So I was going to ask you that. So you're acknowledging that there's some level of a movement to appoint Justice Emmanuel, the son of the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, as the president. Because I've heard him speak to the issue as well.
Once and once say he's president, and they say he's president over what's a group. So we never had no ceremony. Well, it was never a date set where we as an organization come together and acknowledge Jesus as president. So for him to be saying he's president and two of his followers, I believe, who acknowledging that it's not widespread. But if the parliament don't be established, he from Emmanuel learned, so he have that authority to say, well, I can take over. And plus with his aggressiveness, I guess he can do it if we stand by silently and don't speak when really matter most. So the elders have to get together, and then I had a meeting with them Sunday. I keep on saying that we need to fully establish the parliament, because right now you have a situation in Jamaica. He's told to them the EBIC under NGO status, and they give it to a lady who take charge of the property rights of the EBIC, and she's saying that she gonna put anybody. She don't want to talk to no one. She want to come talk to a lawyer. So you have a situation in Jamaica as we speak. I'm saying the whole situation, a real situation, and Parliament is not yet together. Say, well, this our chairman, this our secretary, this our treasurer, and the two could run.
Okay, pardon me. Let me do a little rapid fire in here. Let me ask you. So the international parliament, because I know that you see, we have a couple different rifts here. There's those that don't believe in an international parliament. They believe that the parliament should be at the headquarters, and the headquarters should be, that's why some people think the headquarters should be somewhere else, because the headquarters should be functioning to a point that it is, it's worthy of its title, the headquarters. So the parliament should be there. So I'm asking, is this international parliament to replace the conventional, what we know of, parliament at Bulbi, or it's different than that? That's just a question. Inquiring minds.
I'm glad you asked that question, Majesty. The international parliament consists of elders who spend time around Jaffa for a period of time. Some name were called to be a part of the parliament, and some right now being selected by other ones. I want to say friends or colleagues or brethren. But right now, we don't have the 32-man parliament. And majority of the man who on this international parliament at this moment reside in the United States. I'm part of the parliament. I'm in the Bahamas. A few in Jamaica, but the whole overall energy of the parliament infrastructures is foreign. It's in the United States, and they saying that they don't already establish the headquarters in Ghana, and that was something new to me. New to me also. I'm telling you the truth because I can't tell you to talk the truth as best I know it. So you have ones trying to say they don't recognize headquarters as in Jamaica no more. And then you have ones in Jamaica saying that parliament members must be persons who reside in Jamaica. You can't be a parliament member if you don't reside in Jamaica. So you have this up and this down and this and this that. So it's a woe situation we need to solve, and due to the fact that it didn't solve yet, it causing invasion into our government. Concerning the cannabis industry in Jamaica, we have no full grip on that to know exactly how we're dealing with that because we are too scattered as an organization. So we is not getting the benefit as we should. We don't know the fullness because Honorable Priest Dave, at one time I was there 3 years ago to some meetings, he said he wanted to hand over to the, whatever we have to the government, not no individual person, and hand it to the government. I mean, the parliament have to be established. So, Priest told them set up an NGO, as you know, doing the research or doing operations taking place. It's a court case basically now. The other day they had a meeting where they rebuked Priestology and Priest Daily, and they just closed the office. There's a situation going on as we speak. I just get Justice's phone number back again 2 days ago, and I was about to try call him so we could see how best we could solve our differences. Not between me and him, but differences within the Congress.
Yes.
So I offered myself to go down to Jamaica as a royal ambassador and see how best we can solve this problem and bring the Virgin on the foundation and the Virgin on foreign under one program so we can see how best we could solve this situation. It is a situation amongst us, Majesty. I know that's what you say you didn't intend for all this to take place today, but you asked me to come on the show, so I have to do what I have.
Wow. Well, a lot of ideology, maybe ideology too, but a lot of ideology, because it's ideology that will hold that back, eh? Because the international, I mean, it's a real international movement now, you know. I heard Priest Imesley once cultured, I don't know if you know Priest Imesley, once cultured that, well, in a sense, I guess he was bigging up the Trinidad branch, you know. He was saying that King Emmanuel Congress was a national Congress, but it is Trinidad branch is an alter culture, but it's through the establishment of the Trinidad branch, you know, that really bring it to an international status, and now we gone 4 wings. So
I believe that too.
Right. So what I'm saying now, since it's on that international level, because I know King Emmanuel is a man that advanced things, you know, and that there again, the culture does be misty because someone's still stay on a certain level and say, well, this is how it was done. That is true. But what was the pattern? Okay, that's how it was. Let's just say that's how it was when the book was closed. But let's look at the pattern that was leading up to that. And let us keep the momentum, and we would see where it would be now. So, for example, an international parliament sounds like something to me, this is my humble opinion, sounds like something to me that the Black Christ would orchestrate in a time like now. Well, of course, with the presence of the Black Christ, the parliament on the ground, wherever we are, would be of the highest standard. You don't know that. But in this day and time, there would be some sort of united international representation. Because from my understanding, even there are times that King Emmanuel will set up special committee, you know, for a special time to do certain things. And so it's on that nature. I'm really seeing it. But so really where we are then, that's
the way I see it myself. That's why I mentioned even yourself and Chris Taylorish and other renowned individual who I see what could play a very important role in the international parliament.
But you just said, you know, I'm going to make it good, but you just said that a person would have to be in the order for at least 25 years to...
No, that's what I was saying. When I said that, I say...
To a ballot.
When I say 25 years, to be able to select a president for ourselves.
To select the president.
Yes, we have a secret ballot or how we program, because remember, Emmanuel is the order of salvation. And now that's y'all make a move now. We become the body. So we now have to come amongst ourselves and say, well.
But let me ask you a question again, man. I jumped in fast.
This one is the most beautiful person we think collectively what could represent us together.
So let me ask you then. So that means if you're given a certain we're saying, okay, at least a quarter century in this order, you should be just for a level of responsibility to pick this person here. That means this person also has to be in the order for over 25 years.
Well, I would think so too.
I would think so too, but now remember your situation, you know, remember when you were given that title, everybody look at you like, wait, him, but he just come. Nah, man, he can't be him, man. No, man, Jah make a mistake, there, man. This is
but sometimes people
still what I'm saying, what I'm saying, hey, listen, what I'm saying, hey, don't underestimate the youth,
I am not.
25 years is a long time. I mean, a person can really prove themselves in 10 years.
And even 7.
Okay, yeah, man, this man here.
So that's my observation. That don't mean every woman must agree with that. You cut it from 25, maybe the 15, but that was my observation. I said, well, at least if you've been in the order for that long,
yeah,
you should be able to see
I get that.
Remember, even when Emmanuel picked me, you know, as an ambassador, he was the man who been there over 25 years, over 10 years, who bring it. So, though I was young, I just come and do, but I get the clearance from the person who was there for 10 years. The person who just come like me yesterday or 2 years ago. So it was still the elder who made the decision. So it's still take the elders to make the decision whether we can pick a young man like yourself or a much younger man who just come in order. And so I'm just saying, so it still take the elders to I believe to make that call, because they've been with Emmanuel and been part of the organization for so long. I feel as though they should have that emphasis, given the fact that the Constitution never state that, okay, after me is my successors is Jesus or Priest Ritman or Priest Ray or Priest Talty or whoever. That hasn't been established. So now we as a body have to establish that ourselves. We have to pick a leader from amongst ourselves.
I know it's a 32-man parliament and 1 empress. I said I know it's a 32-man parliament and 1 empress. Does the constitute?
But it don't mean you have the state of 1 empress. Because time bring on changes. It's us now as elders to select who we want to be a part of the parliament. So once we come together.
Nah, man, I'm gonna tell you 32 and trust me.
But here I know for a fact time bring on changes. I know for a fact.
Of course, I know that too. But where I was getting was bigger than that. Does the Constitution stipulate that a woman, an empress, cannot be president?
No.
All right.
No. So the empress could be the president too. Or you could have more than 1 empress within parliament also.
I know that's your opinion for sure.
What's that?
I said, I know that's your opinion. Okay. You know how it is. You know. I mean, I don't even have to tell you. You know, at the end of the day, when we sit around the table, Like some of the names you just called a while ago, I know for sure. I know for sure they're gonna stand and say, no, John stand for that. And
yeah, but know that our salvation ain't come to make us religious. Our salvation come to bring liberation to us.
You
so
know that?
Not for stuck in religious
religion. Yes, I totally agree.
And that need to change.
Totally
I come in this order to follow the right and liberate myself and liberate ones around me, not to see how holy I could be. Because what is holy? I just want to be right. I just want to be able to do the right. And do the right is to liberate ourselves, fight for equal rights and justice, not to say, well, he been on altar, he messed my way or chanted, and he caused my ship sinking, and he sank the ship, and it's kind of, to me, petty argument, but we think it's nowhere. I don't do it. And I don't go out there for show. Like people, it's almost like a show. So after you come off the altar, it's nothing else after that. There's no liberation, there's no agitation, there's altar. So it's all big in the altar. So liberty is a movement. So it's a liberation movement. It's not a religious movement.
My lord, before we even go in, I need to know now, as a man that spent time, with the Black Christ. In fact, no, let me ask you the $1 trillion question first. I have to ask everyone that come, I must ask them. You ever burn chalice with the Black Christ?
My Lord, I burned chalice with Jah so much till at one time, I tell Jah, I say, use the greatest, my Lord. Because one time I came bombers around 11 o'clock. Me and Jah started burning chalice from around 12, and me and stop till 5 o'clock. I tell the Buster Joy to Jah, yeah, I try to out to you, but that happened. That is Buster Joy. So it's not a time, Majesty. I went on hill and I smoked chalice with Jah, and Jah make sure I leave with a ball of wine from his cellar. So I was very privileged. When I eat, or the general kitchen, every time I was there. So to me, I say I had special treatment. Which Jack making me a royal palace guide from the second week. I reached on the hill. I was palace guide around Jack. So yes, I had a wonderful experience around the general. And at one time, even Jack told me, I must go through every man office. And so I was so young, I say, I shouldn't put him in trouble. But that's how Emmanuel deal with me very well. So
you say you must go and check every man office.
Every man office. I said, I must go through every man office on the foundation.
Yeah.
Emmanuel would, every man would to the foundation. And the next day, majority of the man who had office went on town to do whatever they want to do. But I see now, what Jah was telling me now more than ever before, saying things, man, it's culture. It's some things we say Jah say, Jah never say. And some things what we be doing, some things what Jah never authorized. Even we could talk about the 21 days principle and all.
Tell me.
That's my Lord. It's a lot. So.
Oh man.
So understanding, praise God. And next thing.
But give me the little on the 21 day though. I wouldn't mind hearing that at all. Don't worry, man.
At one point, I got kicked out in the bus for trying to bring this clearance, what I received from elders on the foundation. We know that 21 days is a natural by control to stand up also. And when one go on the hill, you go on the hill to build yourself the priesthood, not to build no family. Of course, you know that. But at one point, the 21 days was never 21 days, it was 14 days, 70.
Yeah, 70.
21. We have an honorable priest who amongst us now, priest Prince. Some elder about 73 in the Bahamas, come being around Jah, who's one of those men who have cleaned the spot for Walker Hill when Jah first born. He was one of the men who was with Jah from them time. And so he could talk about the principle, and when it was 14 days, and when it get to 17 days, and how we get to 21 days. when he say it wasn't direct, the order came from Jah himself. There's other persons who were there who pushed that. He said mainly that was pushed by persons at that time who didn't had no empress, and by empress at that time who didn't had no king man. So was a form of jealousy was in the midst. So from 14 day, they rise to the 21 day, I mean the 17 day, and from 17 day to 21 day. So I asked the question if you think we should continue the 21 day principle. I carry the bus, but really and truly, if you're a priest and you live on the foundation, it's hard to have you if you hold the 21 days principle. It's hard to conceive, you have the effort to conceive. You follow the principle of Jah still, but Jah still shows us with this I know, and then the next I know still. But of course, if you them being born on the foundation, that means the priest them naturally was know the 21 days principle. So I cannot go just only for the hill, or persons who when they move off the hill and go in their own private zone or their own private house, they hold the same 21 days principle and still get on the altar. Because all of we as priests preach the 21 days principle straight through. But they say who all priests them living the 21 days principle, because it's not only for the empress to live the 21 days principle. If you have your empress, you have to hold the 21 days principle also. And to me, I don't see where much priests for the 21 days principle, but we preach that every Sabbath. So I say that it's not good for us to preach what we. So I said, we just think we need to take it back to the 12th, to the 14th day, where we give them more justice, where they have at least 2 Sabbath, where they can be more active around the courts. That's my thought. And from what I studied from elders at the 21 days. It wasn't something so mandated by the Father. It was something approved by the Father. It wasn't something that come from Emmanuel himself. In my understanding, I stand to be correct.
No, my Lord, I mean, give thanks to that clearance as well, because from a long time, since I in this thing, my Lord, that's one of my things is to gather information from those who know. I put pieces together. I have a lot retained within me. To be honest, if I had to tell the story, I could tell it with all different pieces of the puzzle. You may think I was there myself because of the years of the different, ones I've communicated with. I really wanted to.
I think I could say the same thing also.
Right, but no, but you were there. I mean, you were there. Yeah, and pipe you say bunny with the man, and every time you move, you get a bottle of wine. I can't talk about that, my lord. But what I'm saying is this. No, but what I'm saying is this. I was really hoping. I was really hoping to have the Empress Lily Mae Duncan with us. She did say that she would try her best to accommodate me. So I definitely, I know it will happen. I know I just have to give a little time, so it's not anything.
Sister Macy.
No, not Macy.
No, you said Lily Mae Duncan, Sister Lily. I know.
No, hear that. Okay, even before you go there, I've done interviews with Sister Maisie too, and I'm telling you, Sister Maisie, it was Empress Maisie. Well, it was Empress Maisie, Empress Phyllis, and Empress Sharon. But of course, Empress Maisie would be, in the forefront on certain things. And we had that discussion. That's about 9 years ago on the Food of Seven radio station. I was in St. Lucia. And I brought up the same subject area as far as the 14th day. And it becoming 21 day. And I brought it up. And Empress Maisie, agreed that it was Sister Empress Lily, who was one of the main empresses, if not the main one, who kind of petitioned to King Emmanuel to bring it to the 21. This is what, and she said yes, it was, she agreed. So I was hoping to have the Honorable Empress Empress Lily with me, even to bring up that subject area, because just the other day, just one last part, just the other day I heard Empress Petruna. She was speaking on an interview, and she was clearly saying that, you know what I mean, you're not supposed to be on this hill and be having no children. If you want to have children, you have to leave this art and go out in the road. And I was like, okay. I was really questioning, man, like, how this is going to work. So, I mean, I just bringing it out since you brought it out, eh? Just reality. You're saying?
No, I was saying, Empress Lily,
Yeah.
Priest Prince, who in the Bahamas now. It'd be good if you could have an interview with him.
So this is Priest Prince, they Funde man, they keep.
Yes, who live with 14 miles. Not young Prince, it's elder Prince. He but some.
Yeah, it's only 2 Prince I know. I only know
that elder one. Yes.
Okay, right.
He's a funky man.
Yeah.
He in the Bahamas now with us.
Right, I know that. Yes, him. Yeah.
And I get his take on it. Priest Rollo, who already passed his take on it. I get Priest Felix take on it. I guess Sister Macy take on it.
Exactly.
Take on it.
Exactly.
So I do my research also.
That's how I do it. Give thanks. You feel me.
So that's how I come with this. And plus, I'm a Bobo. I have a family. I see other Bobo around me living with their family. So I say, hold on, this makes sense, or this don't make sense. Some more research.
We have to reconstruct this thing, brother. We can't have this no jokey thing. But sorry, go through.
So I bring it up on the WhatsApp group. But for 5 months with the Parliament group, and Sister Aji,
yes,
and Sister Esther,
yes,
they kicked me in the bus. They put me back in the bus. They kicked me back in the bus a couple of times for me saying that I feel as though we should start thinking about this situation and be more upfront and be more mature how we deal with it now. Stop this using a religious standpoint towards liberation. Let's liberate ourselves, because we come to liberate ourselves. We come to hold ourselves down, religious dogma. So if some things we put in place, and if we realize that it's harming us, we as the gods, we could remove it and make it much better for ourselves. So because time brings on changes. So when I said that, it brings a really bad energy amongst the Empress. What I trying to do, I trying to change Emmanuel 21 days to 14 days. And at one point, Sister Aji's son came on the phone and he went threatening me. He had boxing in my face. And due to that, I stopped any communication with group, because if we as a Parliament group, you can't have your son come on the group and threaten me, according to my opinion. And none of the elders rebuke the youth. So I say, if they ain't do the youth, I don't need to be in this environment. So I relieve myself from that.
So okay, differently than all that Wild West action there. Isn't it the history of it? Isn't it the Empress that went? Because you're telling me is more priests. It's not like a New Testament kind of story. Like it's the priests them that manipulate.
It's couple stories. It's couple stories.
Manipulate the thing, but
yes,
I get it. Like
I heard finally Priest Rocco, along with the same Empress you call, they were the ones who really instrumental and pushed it to job more than anybody else. So Priest Rocco's not here now. This lady still young. We could still interview her and get her.
But Priest Prince would have more.
Yes, as the elder who have cleared the grounds when they go on, but who was there with Jack from then time? Who was there when the young committee man came into Jamaica? Priest Paul, Chamberlain, Priest Courtney, those men were there.
So
and
how would you?
Priest of Tafa. If you are a recent priest, I Tafa on it also.
I Tafa. Yeah, yes, I did an individual piece right after. Yes, yes. Okay, but no, but okay, hear this. What I'm saying, I get everything you say. But how would King Emmanuel, okay, for example, you see the morning principle sheet that we read. All right. That speak about the 21 day principles.
Yeah.
All right. So one would say, man, listen, man, but this is a principle. We read, we talk about 2 tables of testimonies and tables of stone, X, Y, Z. Now, in that discussion, I've heard several times ones that would know, as I said, above that 25-year bracket, that would say, hey, listen, is man put that together, you know? And they call a few names. As boss, it's them man put that, that's them man thing, you know. And then you'll hear other ones will say, yeah, it's true, it's them man, and committee man is them, but Jah did ratify it. So that's what I'm saying. You see, those of us that just come and not just come, but not come as early as some others, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's hard for us to search to all of this here, just to get the thing straight and to move forward. It's like searching through to get it right. So what is it? Like the principle of not smoking after 10 the Friday night. How much man and woman follow that? How many people follow that? Very, very. The principle, there's a principle for those who don't know. Our morning principle, we read it in the morning.
Yes.
That on Friday evening, after 10, all smoking ceases.
Yes, my Lord.
Friday evening after 10 until Saturday evening, the Sabbath closing hymn and the singing of the anthem. I am asking, how many of the faithful holy souls follow
Observe
that?
Observe that. Well,
exactly.
When I first came into the order, I observed it the best of my ability. Like
most of us did.
I let it roll my
But then somebody tell us, boss, Jabon Chalice all Sabbath, no worry them man. You know. Then somebody tell us,
well,
boy,
I personally become and see that myself. And I saw somebody tell me, I see that myself. I see elders in their one corner. I'm smoking their chalice before they go out to Sabbath morning. But how I say, but that's how I know. That's how I do what I really have to know. That's understanding that still.
I hear you.
And when before then, I was made to understand that persons used to smoke on the Sabbath. It wasn't a problem with Bobo smoking on the Sabbath. The reason why the principle was established because a lot of young Bobo when they smoke on Sabbath morning, they don't go to service. They get black soda and they use the little bucket, the little Bible, and they room and they just go back to rest. It's a rest day. It's a rest day. So to prevent that, no smoking all through Sabbath day from Friday 10 o'clock till sundown after Sabbath. But of course, you had elders who then 7 day ways so they come to burn their chalice early in the morning and they can handle it. You know, when they burn their chalice, they get back to rest. When they burn their chalice, they get into service.
Yeah, man.
So, but at the same time, they don't bring the chalice over in the front of everybody and burn the chalice, say go burn chalice. Keep it.
Yeah,
you know. So
so
you could strengthen about the youth them so they could be much stronger and know how to be free in themselves, how to build themselves. So it's always a building.
No, you see,
even if you smoke a chalice on Sabbath, you sin or you. I need to understand. It is understand. It is a building, you know.
I like that. So that principle come with a footnote now. That principle come with a footnote. I tell you.
Yes, my Lord.
Wow, interesting.
If you're supposed to smoke a lot, you know, and you could take 1 day from not smoking, it's very good for yourself.
Trust me, man. Very, very, you know.
So it's a positive thing, but
definitely.
So at one point in Nassau and our branch, you couldn't get no one to see no one wearing no joints on the Sabbath. But now you try to tell someone who you doing on the Sabbath, you ready to say, what you doing with? So it become the norm. Same thing on the hill. They go, then it's the norm. You gotta we're the same as just roll up the joint, more hold on there, get the last hour. It's a different generation, and time evolves different things.
Yeah, man, true, my
But
lord.
you still have a lot of places who still hold the principle who don't smoke on Sabbath.
Yeah, they do, of course. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know too many of them, but they do.
It's a few. I know not right now amongst us who don't smoke on Sabbath.
Right.
I know when I never used to smoke on Sabbath, but now I must speak the truth. I do smoke on Sabbath myself now, but it ain't something good to show the youth them, because when they smoke on Sabbath, I tell the truth, not for them to go in service.
Yeah, drowsy and knockout. And I get you, man.
You don't want even when you're an altar, you don't want no one and see with no smoky breath. It make your stomach ache, you smell smoky breath. So it's more than one reason.
I'm glad you bring that up, because even those little principles, this is something I myself observe, especially the Sabbath altar. Altar in general, ones that be coming up there with scent, because altar work is, you're not supposed to have on, nobody's supposed to smell you, eh?
Thank you.
Even if it's a nice little thing, no, you know what I mean? Even some elders tell me during the Sabbath, just say, don't wash with no lemon. I don't know if you hear them culture there, but that's what I get.
Well,
but the point is the smell.
I see this is lemon cutting clear. I see that was one of the principles I heard also, where you don't cut lemon on the Sabbath.
Right. Maybe that too. Yeah. But once come up and there some strong perfume and different things, they say, wow.
But so you use I say deodorant, because you don't want, but people say you get green arm. That's the word you use in Jamaica when people smell your arm from like almost from a distance or from past them, you smell a scent. So you must, if you don't use no kind of cologne, or you must have something to keep that strong odor down. So some kind of
hear me good now. Hear me good as they come up with no scent, and as they come out not smelling good, eh? Very important. Yes, my lord. I know we spent a moment. I know you have to do it again. Let's just put it that way, because
well, we have a couple more topics we need to touch.
Yeah.
Where we going from here?
Especially that restructuring.
Yes. See, and honestly, we need persons like yourself. Because I see you as a very important figure within the Bobo Shanti aura at this moment, and I glorify the works that I do, and also getting information, personal information. Because before I met that, I see you some of your videos, and that make me really admire your works and give you the respect I think you deserve for Bobo Shanti, who really bring clarity to bring understanding to the organization from your point of view, and that's very, very helpful, and that's very, very strong and clean, it's positive. So when I heard once call to talk about your name and speak about you, it's always in the most honorable way, dignified way. So I want you to know that we really do appreciate your work, Majesty, and I hope you continue the great work you do in the same way, my Lord. But definitely now, with the intelligence we have, we need to come together and set our government. We see what's taking place in Africa. Ghana, say the year of return, we get the next African country said when we reach to the airport, we get your citizenship. So we need to start really repatriating. And Emmanuel said those who find their ticket to sell themselves in Africa positively, do so. But just looking for a collective effort. And since the breakdown from the OAU, from the ABIC, it still need to be established. So we have places in Ethiopia, just say one Ethiopia-based headquarters. Ghana is the gateway. At one point, I didn't want a house on the foundation in Jamaica. And I went to hand Prince Emmanuel about $2,700 US to get my house. I say, if Jah authorized me to build, house to build much faster. I have the problem. I say, yeah, house to build. So when after we still Jah said, Jah, you know, I want a house. That's my strength. It was house. It was assisting me getting house to build. The man will never take my money. Man said, no, I don't want you to build a house in Jamaica. That's the only reason I know how to against there. I don't want you to build a house in Ethiopia. I want you to build your headquarters in Ethiopia. He don't want me build in Jamaica. He want me build my headquarters in Ethiopia. Unfortunately, I wish there's yet, but that's the way that the general give out. And I still not say mandate. I still hoping that I'll be able within this lifetime build a headquarters in Ethiopia.
Build your headquarters. When you say your headquarters, what do you mean?
I give you the word the Father gave me.
I hear.
Yeah, that's all right. Because I know that presumptuous for me to say build my headquarters.
I hear you.
Okay, so I need you to wait exact how the Father gave to me.
Yes.
And me personally, he had much reason with Jah without our witness was always there. So my argument, my reason concerning Jah was always a witness. At one point, in '92, I was so familiarized with my people in Sudan, right, born and grow. That's the election year. And the people in Sudan, due to my good service to them and due to my benevolent attitude towards them, they said, we would like you to represent us in House of Parliament. They don't want me run against Selene Pillen. Because the constituency Selene Pillen occupied, that's everywhere I grew up. That's like I told you earlier, my father was his political general.
Very nice.
Pardon me?
I say you're not easy, man.
Hello?
You're not easy. I said you're not easy.
So listen now. So I went to Prince Emmanuel in '92 before I went I say Jah. And myself, the spirit of myself telling me, say, don't go to Emmanuel, this set your program run. But I say I can't do it, I have to check the general. So when I go into Jah, I say, Jah, the people in Sudan want me run in a political office, and I feel as though I could really run and make a difference. And a lot of elders around, which I read them, if I'm mistaken, priest, I try to remember his name. He in Africa now. Priest Talty, not Priest Talty. Priest. Well, I know Priest Campbell was there, and I think Priest Courtney was there also. Priest, the elder priest in Jamaica in Africa would now been there for a little while now. His name is Floyd Boyd, but his alias is Priest Tukes. Yes, Priest Tukes was there also. That's what I try to remember. And when I asked after the burning chalice with Jah, I say again, anytime you should help, Jah automatically pull the chalice up. Automatically. I tell the gods you. By we should help with Jah, we smoke chalice. Another time, I had a present as a Jah person and we smoke the chalice. So after this was my question to Jah. That time, Priest Danda was an honest with me also, and I was operating officials at that time, and I was doing a lot of revenue. So the political energy was all around me, and I did just bring Bobo Shanti and Rastafari and Blessed Love My Lord and Blessed Love My Lord, and so it was the catch. So when I went to Jah and asked Jah about it, I said, Jah, the people want me represent them in House of Parliament. And Jah said, we don't mark X. But Jah said to me, Jah said, we don't mark X. I said, Jah, you know we don't mark X. But Jah, I had to come to you. So when Jah said, we don't mark X, everything going back in my mind, the Spirit telling me, say, I can't go to a man without you. It's the Spirit talking to me and myself. I talk to myself and my own self. So I said, the Spirit telling me, I tell you, don't ask you, Prince Emmanuel, because I could be a while. So when Jah said that to me, I just blessed him and said, I understand, Jah. And before I leave the room, Jah said, I don't want to feel no way, The office I give you is bigger than Pillen office. Just Emmanuel word to me. He said, the office I give you is big and put in office. So I said, true majesty. So I bless up job and I gave a job person. I end up going to a country, whatever. That's that discussion that's stay with them. Doesn't mean rise up no more. The next, but a month, 2 months, that's when I came back to Jamaica to go on Africa mission. When I returned back from Africa mission and give John my report and reach back to Bahamas and come back to Jamaica. Why is being just I'm smoking challenge. Emmanuel left with the clear blue sky, say clear blue. Said, my Lord, you can make the people mark a tick. I mean, right then he gave me approval to give a representation to the House of Parliament. So I said, you can make the people mark a tick. I said, true majesty. So it showed me that naturally we could participate. In 97, Prince Amos, Selassie grandson, Prince Amos Sali Selassie, he came to the Bahamas because he did anoint me with a gold medal from the royal dynasty as an official representative of the monarchy. He said that we must participate in the political movements to help liberate ourselves. Because to the fund of Bobo Shanti, Mark X and this, we don't mix for politicians. We don't vote for politicians, but amongst ourselves, we need representation. So at one point, I tell the Rastaman and Hamas, I get on the radio, I say, we all must register, not to vote, but to register so we can have a proper dialogue with these politicians concerning our fundamental rights and justice. But of course, when I said that the register for people to vote gone up sky high, a lot of politicians come to me and say, I start a movement. But when I try to get the Bobo them and the Rastaman for us to come together and make an impact, they didn't see the vision at that time. And some bengy man grab it and saying Rastaman for the FNM, and they get some political advancement, yeah, from the politician. But
I hear the culture already that King Emmanuel say, make them mark. I don't know if it's your story, but here King Emmanuel
it's
say,
my story.
Make
It's
them,
new.
put the R.
It's me who went to jail about it. You know about man got on, but it's me who had opportunity to run. And I had my finance and set, had everything set, had a whole team ready. It was only me to get the approval from Emmanuel. And I didn't really put things in motion, but I said I can do it without even getting the approval from Emmanuel because I know in myself I can be stopped. Then I say, if I do it on my own, I still be able to do enough good works towards about upliftment. But seeing me get on hill, because sometimes Jas will just send for me, you know. Enough time I in honors, Jas just tell priest Harry, say call my royal ambassador. And when I reach there, Jas just want me to be just hanging with him, be just hanging with Jas, eat good food, smoke good weed. Jas just culture me. So all of my culture come from Emmanuel. Yeah, I ain't get much culture from no priest because they culture priest. Emmanuel culture me. So majority of the time I spend on the hill, I tell the truth, majority of the time I spend on the hill itself. So that's why I speak the way I speak. You know what I'm saying? I never, like I say again, I never been on hill. I don't have no desire to be no priest. All I want to be is be a prophet and be able to know the order and be able to execute it. Like, because at that time, I was more militant. So I say, priests are more too soft. I want not, I say too soft, but I'm saying I want to be more balak. I don't want to be a priest where people can take advantage of me. I want to be a priest, I'm a prophet, like execute judgment where they need be. So it was never my desire to be a priest.
My Lord.
So Prince Emmanuel himself, like me say, that's my priest. That's how I become a priest. Not that I was the roll call every morning and priest Jackai or the man say he's a worthy priest because he want to be a priest. No, they say Emmanuel say put him on altar. That's my priest. So my priest will come from direct Prince Emmanuel, not from no committee. And my ambassadorship comes from direct Prince Emmanuel. You know when I'd say recommend me to get ambassadorship or recommend me to be a priest. All that was done direct from the father.
Bahamas is the only place I've ever been where Bobo Shanti is Rasta. Everywhere else you go, Bahamas is the only place I have ever been where Rasta means Bobo Shanti. So in other words,
Okay.
anywhere else you say Rasta, you get the Bob Marley look first, or the you know what I mean, straight up, no
In the
disrespect,
Bahamas,
eh? But
yeah,
when
in the Bahamas,
if you ask a person from Bahamas if you ask a child from Bahamas to draw a Rasta man, they're gonna draw a Bobo Shanti.
Bobo.
If you ask a child from anywhere else, draw a Rasta man, they're gonna draw the man under the coconut tree with the, just like how you see on the Tory shirt.
Lego logs. Well, in the Bahamas, I established two jobs with myself and other Bobo, Jabline and other ones. We established the Bobo Shanti firmly in the Bahamas. And
For real.
so
That's
even
well known.
even
That's
when
obvious.
even when I be
No
addressed by
respect
the
to Priest
government,
Blyden, you know. No
when I
respect.
be addressed by the government say the Right Honorable Priest Ritman McKinney, Royal Ambassador. That's what the government. That's where the reporters address me as. That's where the Prime Minister's address me as. So the EBIC is fully established in the Bahamas. My title as an ambassador is fully recognized by the government in the Bahamas. So I own the High Commission also right now to really get the clearance for us to really be able to deal with our sacrament and have the rights to be able to cannabis according to our tradition and our faith. Right now, we as an organization in the Bahamas setting a delegation to try to reach Ethiopia. So the continued establishment of the headquarters in Ethiopia need to be revived and properly established and renewed again. And there could be, you could say, this something authentic belongs to the government, not two or three Bobo doing their own thing and calling persons to support them, but something properly established by the Ethiopian African Black International Congress through the Royal Ambassador.
Majesty, give thanks to the moment, you know. Again,
My
I'd like
Lord.
to even bless up, as I said, Honorable Priest Blyden as well, and all the brethren and the sisters, even in Bahamas, you know. Of course, the few times I've come through, you know, I get a lot of love and a warm heart of love I did get, you know, from the brethren, the empresses, the young youths. So just heart of love to all those who would view this, you know, just give thanks from my heart, and that's the truth.
But hopefully, I hope hopefully more in a short order, I hope be able to come down your all parts and be and bless all of my person same way as you bless us with present. I will promise it's careless to try to come down there as soon as I can, but something with this own way. Charlie tell us from back then, from the early 90s, myself as an ambassador, we must go through the Caribbean, like Barbados, Trinidad, all through the Caribbean. Jack gave us that clearance to myself as an international ambassador to really execute. But so far, Honorable Shimron in Jamaica, I must big him up. He did a very wonderful job through the Caribbean as a Shimron Davison.
My Lord.
You know Shimron?
Of course, my
Shimron
Lord.
really, yes. Shimron, I'll say he moved through the Caribbean a little more than anybody else as a young priest, and he really do the work too. So he must be highly recognized as a young ambassador for the foundation. And because when he faced travel, I bring him to the Bahamas and I see how he perform. He help us a lot and help building enough monument to their priesthood. And though he came here and get his priesthood from here amongst us here, but he did a good, wonderful job amongst the brethren, my Lord.
Yes, my Lord. Enough respect to the Honorable Priest Shimron himself, you know.
Yes,
as they say in a brethren of get me now, you know. Yeah. Just pardon me there. Yeah. That's him right there, you know. That's him there.
Shimron, yeah, mighty warrior.
You seen him? That's him right there.
Yes, my Lord. Yes, my
Okay.
Lord. Yes,
And what's going on there now? That's in Trinidad.
That's in Trinidad. Thank you.
That's one of the missions you're talking about, you know.
Yes.
You find him all
I
over.
mean, Trinidad, when he was Trinidad already had a lot of police already. By the time a place like St.
I
Kitts,
know,
a lot
no,
of
I
places.
just showing you, know, I mean, Troy had this at hand. You know, he come to St. Lucia, he come to Antigua, he passed through Barbados, he passed through St. Kitts, he rise priest in St. Kitts. Bahamas, of course, from a long time. Even the first time I went to Bulway, I think that was early 2000. I was looking for him, and they say he was in Bahamas at that time there. So
Yes.
and them time I never met him, and I went looking for this pre-Shimran, but well, I didn't go looking for him, but I wanted to see him. But they say he was in Bahamas. So from that time he was already up and down, and so yeah, man, he definitely stated his case internationally. Give thanks for a royal soldier like that, you know, for sure, without a doubt.
Yeah, for sure, without a doubt, you know.
Give thanks to Priest Fliego, give thanks to the lines that bring him.
Of course, give thanks to all elders on the foundation.
Yes,
and I tell you one thing, it's the best thing that can happen in my life, though, really come across this truth. You know, and I won't give this up for nothing, but to continue, try build, try grow, and impart the knowledge with others, so we can get a true fundamental rights and justice, instead of full liberation and consider reparation and repatriation for such a black man. So we have to continue pushing, continue standing up, continue working towards our fundamental rights, my Lord. So I say to each and everyone, let's stand up. Yes, let's organize. Let's have tolerance. Let's have some patience with one another. Let's show back that divine love. Just show back that first love. And when you first come in order, you have a good zeal. You need to fire back that zeal what we had when we first come in order, so we can really champion the cause now going forward. Because even the continent, even in Africa, we see a lot of people waking up. I give thanks for places like Julius Malema. I give thanks for Professor PLO Lumumba. I give thanks for the African sister, she named Africana. Get off all the name. She's the ambassador for the EU. So these are the people we need. So these are the people we need to link up with and try and get this thing back together. Because the EABIC must link back up with the EU. We must link up with the EU, and we must be able. I was on the reparation committee also in the Bahamas. Right now, the committee was in Trinidad, all through the Caribbean. Right now, going and Domin, of course, when and had the meeting with the Caribbean leaders, they squashed that. So we, as Bobo and as Rastafari family, we have to take up the mantle of setting the course for the case to the Hague and sending our reparation and repatriation. So the cannabis industry from Bahamas, Jamaica, Trinidad, all small Caribbean islands, if the Rastafari get these sacramental rights, where they can make revenue, we can build enough strength to really champion our cause and really set lawyers to the international Hague. It's just we need representation. For point plan is representation International Court of Justice, representation to the OEU, which is the EU, representation to United Nations, and representation to Buckingham Palace. And right now we have no direct individual who champion the cause. And that's what we need. We need to start championing our cause.
True. That is true, my lord. So many causes to champion. That is true. No one. Yeah, man, we really need that strength. My lord, we have to seal it here.
Yes, Majesty, give thanks for the strength.
Give thanks for the strength.
I hope I make a small little difference.
Yeah, man, the interview was wonderful. It was a great strength for sure. And I know those who are listening would have received the strength and more. There's more to come, man. I know that for sure. There's more to come.
Yes, my Lord. Yes, my Lord.
So, my Lord, give thanks for the celebration still going through the earth.
My Lord, give thanks.
The Emperor celebration, a lot of lightning and thunder came through here.
Give thanks for the emancipation coming up. You know what I mean?
And the emancipation coming up. And Marcus Garvey, Earth Strong.
Yes, my Lord. So even all those, and all even coming for the celebration, if you want to, I can give you the next interview during the celebration on August 1st. What we're doing, what we're about to do, what we want to achieve. You have to let the information out. So this is my first interview with you. I hope this will be the last, my Lord.
No, definitely not my last. Holy Emmanuel,
last year.
Yeah, Rastafari.